Göksu Kunak was born in 1985 in Ankara, Turkey, aka Gucci Chunk, is a writer based in Berlin. She performs her texts and lectures at Batard, Brussels, 2016, invited by Tom Engels, Stadtsprachen Festival 2016, Poesie Festival 2017, Fuchsbau Festival 2017, BDP Reading Series at Tropez Berlin, curated by John Holton. Her texts have been published on the official page of the Absence of Paths, the official Tunisian pavilion of the 57th Venice Biennale, and on the blog The History of Painting Revisited in collaboration with Deutsche Bank Kunsthaus for the I don't speak German, Farhan-Nisa Zaid retrospective, invited by Meg Stewart and Maria F. Scaroni as part of City Lights, a continuous gathering. She had the pleasure to perform with amazing female artists of Berlin at the old and renowned Theater Hebel am Ufer. As an art dance critic, Göksu has been contributing to several magazines and blogs such as Fries.de, Ibrat's Nest, Tanzraum Berlin, Berlin Artlink, Sleek, Crap Equals Good, The Carton, Paper Journal, Freund von Freunden. Göksu has conducted interviews with various artists, curators, directors such as Hito Starel, Meg Stewart, Ahmet Ogut, Munira Al-Qadiri, Hane Lippert, Anime Vanakeri. Zia is one of the editorial correspondents of Ibrat, worked in the editorial team of quarterly magazine Monoculture from 2012 to 2016, and is a writer and project developer with Apartment Project Berlin. Göksu is one of the co-founders of the blog 4.5 that consists of 4.5-sentence dance criticism. Zia is working on her PhD on queer chronopolitics in relation to performance and contemporary dance with Professor Dr. Bojana Kunst. Göksu's flash stories and poems, as well as interviews and essays, can be read on guccichunk.berta.me.
Thank you for coming. Is it too much or is it good?
Good.
Okay. So tonight I decided to use no images, so please bear with me with the words. When we were kids, under 10, we had to go into nature. Alas, we didn't know where. We had friends who got raped by supposed to be the tree hugger, the tree protector, loitering in the woods with his green uniform, ironed the night before by his wife who was taking care of 4 kids. The protector was careful though. He used the asshole so that my friend wouldn't lose their virginity. We dreamt of rugs where you pick up sticks and try to become a part of it all. It was a nightmare, the memory of childhood. All through my childhood, I was a devotee of dark-haired women with curls and deep olive green eyes. There was CK, 6 years older than me, who had green eyes and dark hair. She was a queen, a lion. There was Spider-Woman. I prayed every night to Allah to metamorphose into her during my sleep. There were friends I felt close to just because of their appearances, because of the contrast of their colored eyes and dark hair, preferably with light curls. They were beautiful and they were perfect. Why do cartoonists cannot resist having at least one black-haired character? How and why do cartoonists create certain characters? Recalling Christoph Winkler and Zen Jefferson's piece, black cyborg, contemplating on how the black character is exoticized in the cartoons, becoming a being with an overtly sexualized body, becoming a being without genitals. The only possible way for him to be in those pages was to become a creature, a cyborg. Humbaba, a giant with intestines on its face, is the guardian of the cedar forest, the lens of the living, as it is known in the Epic of Gilgamesh. The epic has several versions, Old Babylonian, Sumerian, and Akkadian, and consists of various tablets. It tells the story of the king of Uruk, Gilgamesh. As a result of what we may call a personal crisis in our contemporary era, Gilgamesh decides to go on a journey to maintain his reputation as a successful king and search for immortality. To accomplish his goals, the wise king decides to slay the undefeatable demon, Humbaba, to show how powerful he is. No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person that you have ever interviewed. That I can tell you. That was President Gilgamesh speaking to reporters on Sunday. The seeds of dissension had sown several sunrises ago. We had a television which a lace napkin placed on. There was a music program on the national television hosted by a funny man with a black beard. It was the end of the 80s and there was only one TV channel broadcasting. Days ended and nights began with the national anthem in this box. Every Sunday, with an annoyingly perfect Turkish, Sezen Önal used to present videos of Western pop. Here comes the song of the chocolate-colored artist Michael Jackson. We like the chocolate colors. The talented runners, good singers, good entertainers. We didn't like Kurds though. What did they do? They only reproduced and killed the whites. We liked Western attitudes. We didn't like Arabic music, but we liked baklava. We liked well-spoken Turkish, and we didn't like accents. We sang our anthem with the utmost pride and put flowers on the tomb of our Savior. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, abnormal Humbaba, a giant with intestines on its face, whose body is monstrous, is kicked from his home, the cedar forest, by the king of Uruk. The fear and hate are reflected upon the monstrous body of Humbaba. Quoting, "The monstrous body reflects both the creepy yet desired body of the monster. The monster is read as a productive form of embodiment which motivates not only fear and disgust, but also desire and intimacy." End of quote. That freak, monstrous body demands a new time and space that might kill the reasonable subject who owns the world and brings, say, boring repetitions or entities that would function uneconomically with straight time. The darkest part of my teenage house was the kitchen. You had to enter to make black tea so the day could begin. There were memories scratching my brain. Once, the knife was smeared with my sister's blood. We kept on cutting bread with the same knife. Mom was hiding it though, while it was waiting for its next duty. I marveled at my mother's calmness. Stop crying and call the ambulance. She was a doctor, not a mailman, I forgot. My mother went to work very early. She was a mailman. Every Sunday she made what we called French toast, bread dipped in eggs and fried. I have no idea where the Frenchness came from. I recall those days were gray. I have a memory. We are in the car with Mom. I'm short and only capable of seeing the sky, sitting next to the driver's seat, belt fastened. The smell almost burned my nostrils, and because of the fog, the usual dry concrete of the capital vanishes and a scene from a fairy tale occurs, reminiscent of a mirage. Years later, I learned that the mist was air pollution. As I was descending in thoughts, as I was traveling down the stairs from the bright kid world, through the dark, artificial, polluted light, tasting and sensing everything, I heard my name. Something was going to happen. Look after your sister. Be careful that she doesn't do something insane. Now, something my father was in charge of was also my responsibility. As he wasn't around, I was the father. The role he played protruded into my cells. I was Rocky, ready to fight the Russian boxer. He had all the equipment. Alas, I had lots of books to carry up the stairs to improve my shape. On Sundays, we went to the fish market with my dad. My sister didn't want to come. The splash of water on the dead bodies, the glittery corpse, the shiny one is the best. My favorite moment was when the seller went to the room at the back to eviscerate. He allowed me to enter to watch him. We went to the fish market on Sundays with my father. My mother would ask him to pick something up. Inevitably, these errands would bring him to a mosque of his favorite, where prayers were reverberated in the air. He taught us Arabic words to talk with Allah. I didn't get why Allah didn't understand Turkish. He recommended to us clearly and cleverly from it. Allah doesn't have gender in Islam. It is neither a father nor a son. It doesn't have a shape. I don't know if it is fat or thin or happy or sad. Despite that, when we were kids, my grandmother used to call them Aydede, meaning the grandfather moon. I always imagined a long, white-bearded white man sitting on the silver plate called moon and sending energies to us with a beautiful smile on his face. When I was 14, I realized some use Allah to legitimize the acts of a character called He. And He came, He chose, He got, He ate, He loved, He wanted, He touched, He came, He wanted, He said, He educated, He analyzed, He stressed, He declared, He uttered, He pontificated, He raped, He escaped, He proposed, He interrogated, He shouted, He influenced, He dominated, He changed, He conquered, He decided, He redefined, He separated, He suffocated. We waited. As a result of socio-economical problems, Turkey went through a significant change in the 1960s, leading to large-scale migration from small villages to bigger cities, or even to other countries such as Germany, which led to create a hybrid city culture. Out of this new culture, characters like Bergen, the queen of arabesque, arose. Arabesque is a music genre that emerged in slums to express the pain of the working class and lower middle class. Bergen's album, Acıların Kadını, The Woman of Agonies, is one of the pioneers of the genre. Bergen's music and lifestyle were the expressions of this socio-economical crisis, blended with violence and agony. Despite her husband's demands from her to quit singing in the nightclubs, Bergen escaped and continued singing. As a result of jealousy, her husband, Halis Serbest, hired someone to throw nitric acid on Bergen's face, resulting in her blindness that turned her into a cult figure in the 1980s. After a series of plastic surgery, Bergen healed. Smearing glitter on her blind eye and putting on shiny stage costumes, the Woman of Agonies kept performing her music in ecstasy. Even though Bergen was devastated when Halis got out of prison, Bergen forgave him. Alas, after a couple of years, her husband killed her. Seni kalbimden kovdum. I kicked you out of my heart. Bu son olsun. May it be the last. Kurtar beni ya Rab. Save me ya Allah. Çilekeş. Long time sufferer. Acıların kadını. The woman of agonies. Son ağlayışım. My last cry. Ölürdüm uğruna. I would have died for you. Onu da yak Tanrım. Burn him as well, dear God. Yıllar affetmez. Years won't forgive. The space is blended red, blue, green, and pink lights reflecting on the glittery golden curtains, shining with a lousy pride. There is a stage at the back, made out of plastic. It is painted in such a way that it looks like marble, black and white. The waiters with white shirt and black vests are walking through the tables, scattered around the stage. The chinks and loud guffaws are reverberating in the air. The musicians are slowly taking their places on the stage. A guy with a suit takes the microphone in his hand and starts to announce the singer. The hats turn with excitement to the door at the back. The music starts. Everyone is waiting. The music continues. Her body materializes. One arm extended, and she moves slowly and languidly. We see a man slowly approaching, and suddenly the orchestra bursts into crude sounds and silences immediately. A piercing scream, a wide pause. Next morning, she will find herself confined to a hospital bed, and the nurses will be listening to her moans, accompanied by Chopin's nocturnes, played to tranquilize the patients' families. Well, Turkey is a bridge between the East and the West. My first diary had a unique fragrance, like a chewing gum, which you may still smell. 6 July 1993, Tuesday. Dear Diary, nowadays, everyday television news about terror it show. Of course, newspapers too. The other day, Sister Funda me told the Ankara attack plan. This entry is accompanied by a drawing. A stickman holds a weapon, aiming at another stickman with long hair. The victim has a speech bubble saying, "Help." Turkey is a bridge between the East and the West. Please don't keep it to yourself. Remain alert. Have a safe day. Well, these happened at a crack in the past. We are also not sure if such events really took place. Anyways, I was telling you something else. On Fridays, my mother used to pray. One night was dark out after supper, but she decided to discuss my sister's alcoholism with a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist's office was made out of beige. Beige upholstery, beige carpets, beige curtains in the waiting room, beige pullover of the secretary, beige blazer of the therapist, beige thoughts, beige cries, beige worries. A dull yet classic color. The educated upper middle class secular women of Turkey love beige. Their hair is dyed beige. They have beige high heels and beige pants. It is a color that allows the person who is wearing it to convey authority. The color would prevent you to comment on that person. If you see a woman wearing red, pink, or blue, there are things to utter. However, beige takes the control away from your gaze. It might say I'm modest, but the red lipstick would perplex you. It is a color of camouflage. Beige is created to hide power, to give power to the one who is wearing it. If khaki is for the soldiers and blue for the police, beige is for the normative upper class. My sister was pink and red. My mother was black. The psychiatrist was beige. Thank you.